疑したくない。やり直しができるならすぐ伝えたい。何回でも言えるほど勇気はないんだけど、抱きしめるよりもキスをして時間の流れを追い越すほど、あの約束の日をずっと覚えてる。何度でも君を好きになる。いつだって私が先だから、今日から独り占めするの君だけど、二人の時間さえもソフトウェア。クロノクロック。
Hello everyone and welcome once again to the visual novel Chrono. And this here is the title screen of Chrono Clock, a VN that was developed by Purple Soft. The original Japanese version was released in Japan in April 2015, and the localized version for the rest of the world was released a few weeks ago on February 28, 2017. There are two versions available, an all ages version and an unrated eroge version, which contains rather explicit sexual content. You can buy the all ages version on Steam and the unrated version on nutaku.net if you want. I'll play the unrated version, of course, but I'll have to cut the sexual stuff out or YouTube will get angry at me, and I don't want that. Well then, without further ado, let's begin, shall we? And of course, as most visual novels, this one also starts with a shot of the sky. July, summertime. On that day, standing on the rooftop, the one place in all the school reaching closest to the sky, I knew that I would soon experience my first broken heart. You don't need a reason to fall in love, right? Oh, who's that? That's what you said to me on the day we first met. I smiled, trying to quell the anxiety so readily apparent on the face of my underclassman, Miyu Suzuki. So this is Miyu.
私、そんな偉そうなこと言いました？
I think she's one of the heroines, if I'm not mistaken. Yup, you totally did. You were completely serious about it too.
あの日は頭がめちゃくちゃで細かいことは覚えてないんですよ。こんな大事な時にからかわないでください。
Miyu was still anxious as ever, but given her retort, I could definitely tell that she had grown a little more courageous. Well, I definitely remember it.
忘れましょうよ。
I quietly watched Miyu as she drooped her shoulders in dejection. That's one thing I can't ever forget. In a very short time, this girl was going to retry confessing her feelings to someone she loved. And if all were to go smoothly, I had helped her all along the way, but somehow I still couldn't get excited at the prospect of her success. I glanced up at the sky, then I returned my gaze to the iron door leading up from the school building. At that moment, a thought crossed my mind. Perhaps I don't want that door to ever open. You don't need a reason to fall in love. I know what you meant by that now, but I actually do have a reason.
先輩も誰か 人を好きになったんですか?
So I guess LA is the name of the protagonist. Miu asked me, her face one of a complete seriousness. She looked too serious, in fact. I wondered if she ever came to realize my feelings for her after all the time we spent together. I wondered if she ever realized what feelings had blossomed within her own heart. At that exact moment, the door opened. Who's that? The person we were waiting for, Shuji Ishida, finally showed up. He immediately furrowed his brow at the heat and humidity. Looking at us, he then gently called out to Miu first.
ここで会うのは1週間ぶりだな。今日は大丈夫か？
はい。先週はすみませんでした。
気にするな。
What happened last week? I quietly watched them talk. A whole week. Everything happened in just 1 week, huh? No, never mind that now. I don't need to be here anymore. I shouldn't be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. At that moment, Miu seemed to pick up on what I was thinking, so she turned back to Shuji for a moment.
石田先輩、少しだけ待っていてもらっていいですか？
ああ。
Shuji stepped back so that Miu could talk to me. What's wrong?
レイ先輩、今までいろいろとありがとうございました。今日、私がここにいられるのは全部先輩のおかげです。
Miu respectfully bowed to me. I didn't do anything, really.
いいえ、レイ先輩がいなかったら、手を引いてくれなかったら、私は、だから、私は。
Her voice trailed off in mid-sentence. It wasn't that she was stuttering or hesitating. She simply looked at me with innocence in her eyes, waiting for my answer to an unspoken question. I took her outstretched hand in mine. Now then, I should apologize for the interruption here, but this is actually the finale to a long sequence of events which occurred in the first week of summer. The observant reader can probably already guess at what's happening, but I feel like I should give a simple explanation. I had been helping my underclassman Miu Suzuki work up the courage to confess her feelings to my best friend Shuji Ishida, and this was her second attempt at doing so. Over the course of 1 week, I helped counsel her to overcome her social anxiety so she wouldn't blow her second chance at it. As a result, I found myself drawn in by Miu's honest, good-natured disposition, and Miu also became more conscious of me as someone of the opposite gender. With the benefit of hindsight, I can only think about how cliched and problematic a situation this was. But let's get serious here. This encounter on the roof is the absolute moment of truth. At the 11th hour, do I take Miu's hand, or do I encourage her to do this? The world diverges at that point. That much is a given. On that note, there is one other detail you should know. I am able to rewind time by 5 minutes, just as easily as snapping my fingers. What? Why? Why is he able to do that? Was he born with this power? Or did he get it from somewhere? But no matter how many times I turn back the clock, I can never undo a real decision I've made. The real problem with time travel is you can never go back in time far enough to change the workings of your own heart. Not like it matters, I guess. I was trying to be serious for a second there, but I'm basically just a happy-go-lucky sort of guy. I've taken quite a bit of flack from others because I never really take anything seriously. This story isn't one with any overtly bleak, serious endings to speak of either, so don't worry about your own choices too much. But first of all, I'll have to give you more information to spur on your choices. Allow me to turn back time by a week, so that you may have a better idea of what kind of people Miu, Shuji, and I are. 1 week ago, the day it all started. The day Miu fell from this very rooftop. What? Doesn't that mean she wanted to commit suicide? It was lunchtime in the classroom. I was reading a book since I'd already finished eating. Then Shuji came over and started talking to me.
さんずい、何読んでるんだ？
My name is Rei Sabatari, though my nickname is Sansui, an alternate reading of the kanji in my name. I held up the book for Shuji to see. The Door into Summer.
古典 SF？ お前に漫画以外のものを読む趣味があったか？
I don't want to hear that from the guy who's always engrossed in light novels.
人の高尚な趣味にケチつけるな。
Right back at you, buddy. By the way. Oh, who's that? A girl next to me suddenly screamed. I heard the sound of plastic hitting the ground before I could turn around in time to see what was happening. A female classmate of mine, Makoto Yonochi, looked at the lunchbox of hers, which had clattered to the floor, and sighed in exasperation.
やっちまったか。
Ah well, I couldn't have done anything.
ごめんねみんな。
Makoto apologized, her eyes swelling up with tears. Then she crouched down and tried to slip a piece of loose leaf paper under the overturned lunchbox, seemingly trying as hard as she could to pick it all up without making a mess. I stood idly by, watching her. Girls never pack much in their lunchboxes, do they?
本当にどうでもいいところばっかり見てるな、さんずいは。
That's not the only thing I'm paying attention to.
スカートのあたりだろ。
Shuji, just who do you think I am?
むっつりの変態だ。弁当箱の他に何を見てたか言ってみろ。
I can't see her panties from this angle, but I'm happy just to see her skirt flapping against her legs.
おっさん臭いし、かわいそうだから追い打ちはやめて差し上げろ。
食べ物を粗末にしちゃった。
Aw, don't cry. Hopefully she hadn't overheard our stupid bantering. I mean, she was already pretty distraught. The air conditioning was running, but I could tell that the smell would linger in the air. Besides, I'm sure she didn't want to take that dirty lunchbox home either. That's a real shame, isn't it?
何？助けてやるの？
Shuji seemed surprised to hear me say that. There's something I needed to do anyway, so it's not a big deal. I stood up, took out my pocket watch, and checked the time. 12:46. I had been goofing around a bit, so now there were only 3 minutes left. No, more like 2. Verifying my time limit, I walked over to Makoto. Makoto,
沢渡くん？
normally we don't even greet each other in the hallways, so of course she would be a little confused. I'm not big on my family name, just call me by my first name.
レイくん？
That's right. Regarding what I was about to do, I knew full well it wouldn't cause any problems for me, but I could still feel my cheeks burning. This probably isn't the best time, but would you go out with me if I told you that I liked you?
おへ？
A blank expression. The other students who heard me were also left speechless. That's right, a confession. There was an immediate uproar in the room. Wow, he's so straightforward. What the hell, even people in the hallway were looking in to see what the big fuss was about.
うわ！
I know this is really sudden. From your reaction, I suppose it's not completely out of the question?
いやびっくりした。
She laughed awkwardly as her cheeks blushed a rosy red.
好きって言われて悪い気はしないけど。ごめん、レイくんとはほとんど話したこともないし、すぐには返事できないな。
No worries, I don't mind if you can't give me an answer right now. I checked the time on my pocket watch again. 12:48. It's about time. Well, anyway, farewell.
さよなら
Be careful with your lunchbox from now on, though I guess there isn't much point in lecturing you about it now.
え
I ignored her question, smiled, and waved my hand. Bye-bye. Then I took the pocket watch in my hand and hurled it to the ground. The world before me shattered.
Sanzui, 何読んでるんだ
I looked up at Shuji, who was right next to me. So 5 minutes ago was right about here then. I cut it pretty close there.
ん
Nothing, just talking to myself. This time I gave Shuji the book without telling him the title and stood up from my seat.
おい、どこ行くんだよ
Just wait there a sec, I won't be long. Should be about 10 seconds from now. I casually strolled over by where Makoto was sitting. She was eating lunch with another girl, but she was more focused on the conversation than her food. Then, while she wasn't looking, she tried to reach for her black tea and her elbow bumped against her lunchbox on the table's end. The lunchbox nearly fell off the table, but I was right there to grab it before it fell.
沢鳥くん
Makoto stood up from her seat, clearly surprised at everything that had just occurred. That was close.
そうだねはあびっくりした本当にありがとう
Don't worry about it. Also, I'm not big on my family name, just call me by my first name.
くん
That's right.
わかったじゃあ私も誠でいいよ本当にありがとう
Affection level up! I returned to my seat, feeling content. Behind me, the other girls in the room were excitedly gossiping about Makoto.
やるな、かっこつけ
I wouldn't say that. It just would have really sucked if she'd actually dropped her lunchbox.
いきなり立ち上がるから何かと思ったけどよく危ないって気づいたな
I just had a hunch.
お前最近余裕あるよな
Shuji put my book back down on the desk. He seemed to still be processing what just happened.
ところでこれ夏への扉ってタイムスリップの話だよな
Seems like it, though I only just started it, so I'm not totally sure yet.
タイムスリップできたら最強だよな
It would depend on how far back you could go, though. For instance, what would you do if you could only go back 5 minutes once an hour?
5分だけ
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
そりゃ短いなそれだとあまり大したことはできそうにないぞ
You could stop someone from dropping their lunchbox, though.
はは
You could make as much easy money off lottery tickets as you wanted to. And you could confess your feelings to a cute girl to see how she takes it. Even if she turns you down, you could just rewind time and start over.
なるほどお前バカなこと考えてるな
If you know any other good ways to use that kind of power, I'd like to hear them.
暇すぎたら考えとくよ
Shuji gave me an apathetic sort of laugh and then waddled back over to his seat. I guess he just wanted to know what book I was reading, since he never really sees me reading much of anything. He never really takes me seriously anyway. Just talking to myself again. Holding the book under my arm, I glanced at the Notepad app on my smartphone. The note I'd opened was a list containing the names of all the cute girls in our school that I had taken a liking to. I wrote good chemistry next to Makoto Jonochi's name on the list. Not bad at all. Satisfied with that, I then pulled out my pocket watch. This antique watch was passed down to me from my grandfather, and it's the source of this power I have. My power to rewind time by 5 minutes. It's a strangely limited power, but with a little creativity on my part, there's plenty of opportunities to make good use of it. No matter what, I have to meet the girl of my dreams. I have the power to look ahead in my life and start over when I need to, all thanks to this pocket watch. After all, I've already died once. What? That was a few days earlier on a Sunday. I live in a room in the annex of a traditionally styled house, which does not have air conditioning. The heat wasn't bothering me so much as the humidity, so I was considering going to cool off in a convenience store or bookstore for a bit, but then my father called for me. He told me he was cleaning out the garage when he found something my grandfather used to own and had decided to give it to me. It was, of course, the pocket watch. Considering I already had a smartphone, it was pretty useless, but I decided to keep it because it looked interesting. Then I left for the store. Soon after I left the house, I noticed something odd about the watch. The time it showed was 5 minutes behind the time on my smartphone. I tried to adjust it, but it wouldn't work. For a moment I wondered if it was broken after being in storage for so long, but the second hand was definitely still ticking away. What the heck? Do I have to take this thing apart to fix it? Getting it repaired professionally would be too much of a pain. I didn't have that kind of money. I figured I could try to see if I could do anything myself, so I kept tinkering with it. Lesson learned. Just like you shouldn't cross the street while playing with your phone, you shouldn't do it while playing with a watch either. Lesson learned. Even if the crosswalk light is green, you should always look both ways before crossing the street. I looked up to verify that the pedestrian crossing light was green. It was. So I continued walking normally while I fiddled with the watch. A car horn. The squealing of brakes. They were both familiar sounds, but I had never heard them within such close proximity before. Looking up, I saw a truck hurtling toward me. I instantly froze. I'm dead. I'm 100% grade A cadaver material. I might be able to survive being hit by a car, but the size and speed of a truck are more than enough to end a person's life in an instant. I'm dead. I don't even have a girlfriend, so I'm gonna die a sorry-ass virgin. These were my final moments, and yet that stupid worry was the last thing to go through my mind before my ass would. I had nowhere to run, even if it was pointless. My hands flew up in front of me on instinct in an attempt to shield myself. The pocket watch flew out of my hand and tumbled through the air. My eyes were tightly closed, but I could feel the pressure of the truck barreling toward me through my skin. This is the worst. Game over, man. Game over. I clenched my teeth, hoping the end wouldn't be too painful. A small metallic sound rang out. It must have been the pocket watch smashing against the truck, almost as if the universe were demonstrating how easily the truck could crush my body. And then nothing happened. Huh? The deafening silence was broken only by the cries of the cicadas. I could sense that the sound of the truck had disappeared, and the noise from the station with it as well. Huh? I fearfully opened my eyes. Somehow I was back in front of my house. It was once again a peaceful and damnably hot Sunday afternoon, and I was standing there alone in a stupor. Huh? What just happened? I whipped my head back and forth to verify I was still alive, but I didn't have any injuries to show. The only remnant from the ordeal was the cold sweat running down my spine. What happened to the truck? And why am I back in front of my house anyway? Then I saw that my fingers were clenched around something. It was the pocket watch that had slipped out of my hand. I also noticed that somehow the minute hand had wound back and the time it displayed was 5 minutes earlier than it had shown when I'd last looked at it. Was the heat playing tricks with my imagination?
アホ、夢なものか。
What? Who goes there? Though I was just talking to myself, I was quite surprised to hear a voice responding. There didn't seem to be anyone around. But then I noticed something out of the corner of my eye. I turned my gaze upwards. Oh! Against the backdrop of the clear blue summer sky, hovering in the air like a goldfish swimming in a bowl, there was a woman. She looks fancy. She wore a revealing dress whose hem gently fluttered in the breeze like a butterfly's wings. Are you a ghost?
ドアホ、時間が戻ったのだ。
Huh?
時計を壊すと時間が5分戻る。それは当然の。ん？
The ghost's piercing gaze upon me suddenly showed a hint of confusion.
お主、誰だ？
Me, I'm Rei Savatari.
沢渡り。沢渡りは合っているが、レイ？はって。
Her glance flitted to and fro. She seemed almost as confused as me.
つかぬことを聞くが、今はいつだ？
It's June, though it'll be July soon.
そうではない。年だ。
2015.
理解した。
Maybe you understand, but I am still completely lost here.
あんな形で初めて時計を使ったのなら、説明がいるな。我が輩は時の神。その時計の精霊にして管理者、クロノスなり。
Crow, what?
クロノス。
You're not a ghost?
どこをどう見たら我が輩が幽霊に見える？
Everything about you looks like a ghost or spirit or something. I mean, you gave me a big introduction as Crow whatever, but I'm getting a real traditionalist kind of vibe from you. Still, that get-up's kinda hot, so I can't complain about that. Good job.
お主、我が輩に喧嘩を売っておるのか？
The ghost stared me down, but I was finally starting to calm down and think about what had happened. I still didn't quite understand. But even if I didn't know the exact reasons behind it all, I understood this much. My grandfather's pocket watch had some kind of special power. Breaking the watch caused me to go back 5 minutes in time. That's how I ended up back in front of my house, 5 minutes before I would have been hit by the truck. It was almost too easy an explanation to believe, but if it saved my life, then I can't complain. It saved my life. I died? I felt goosebumps through the sweat on my skin. A sharp chill ran down my spine, akin to someone pouring a blue Hawaii on the rocks down the back of my shirt. If I hadn't been carrying this pocket watch with me, I would undeniably have been killed back there. You would think life always goes on peacefully for everyone, but really, people dying that way isn't exactly uncommon.
どうした？不細工な鳩が爆撃を食らったような顔をして。
Would a pigeon caught in a bombing raid even have anything resembling a face left? I pushed those intrusive thoughts away, for there were more important things which had to be said. Crow, can I only use that power to rewind time once?
いや、1時間に1回だが、何度でも使えるぞ。あと、我が輩の名前を黒と短縮するな。
And another thing, I can't go back any further than 5 minutes, right?
そうじゃ。
So my grandfather used to own this watch, huh?
祖父か曽祖父なのかは知らないが、
お主と名字が同じだから血縁のものだろうな。
Having verified everything with her, I glanced back at my house. It's a huge mansion. I don't want to come off as a braggart here, but my family is unusually, ridiculously wealthy. This mansion was built back in my grandfather's era, and it became a sort of headquarters for the Savatari Corporation, which would go on to be one of the most powerful in the nation. But that's not the whole story. He actually had quite an ace up his sleeve. I was only a kid when he passed away, but I do remember that he was always brimming with confidence, almost as if he could do no wrong. I get it now. Gramps, it wasn't just an ace up your sleeve. You were cheating, weren't you?
何が詐欺なのか知らんが、ここは沢渡の家のままか？
Crow asked me, having seen the house as well. Yeah, it is.
あの男も金なんてつまらんものにこだわる俗物だったが、人間なんてそんなものか。
She's got that right. In spite of my family's obscene wealth, they did try to raise me like a normal child. Learning how to be responsible with money would build character, they said. Currently, they provide me with a monthly allowance of just 3,000 yen. In return, they currently leave me to my own devices when it comes to my day-to-day life. But I am just delaying the inevitable. As the eldest son of the Savatari family, I will eventually lose the right to choose my own way. As the third generation's successor, I'm expected to be a model employee who will one day speak for the entire company. I had never wanted to change my own destiny though. I didn't have any other dreams or aspirations, and I'd always known that my future was set in stone anyway. However, I had just had a brush with death. Prior to that experience, I had not truly understood what it meant to be alive.
さて、新しい主人よ。お主は我が輩に何を望む？何をなす？
Why would the goddess take orders from a human? As if she'd read my mind, Crow gave me a serious expression while asking a serious question of me. I had clenched my fist without realizing it. I am not obsessed with money like my grandfather was.
おう、いい心がけじゃな。
I will use this power to make my daily life more fun, and most importantly of all, I can finally get a girlfriend and graduate from my status as a virgin.
たわけ、超俗物。
That was my first encounter with Crow and with the power of Cronus' clock.
まったく、バカは死んでも治らないとはよく言うが、盛りのついたけだものも変わらんの。
Okay then, I think I'll end the first episode here, so as always, thanks for watching everyone, and have a nice day. Bye bye!